So today we are just finally finishing up this coloring page from Daily Rituals coloring book, and part of me really wanted to just start over, but at the same time I like her the way she is already too much. So has anyone else been dealing with Procreate not being able to get the colors that you asked them to get the first time around? Last year when I used this, if I wanted to pick a specific color, I could do that. As an also traditional artist, that's not a deal breaker or nothing, but now here's the thing. When I drew this, let's just say it was definitely looked better on paper without the color. I'm gonna make a whole separate series about the process of making a coloring book, but the good and the bad, because as you can see, the lines don't all the way connect, and throughout the coloring book the lines are different boldness. While the images may be cute, it's not a fully cohesive coloring book as I would like it to be. But I still want to honor the time that I put in on this entire thing. I'm about to be embarrassed about how crazy I colored the hair, but I need the hair to go on top. So we're about to just do a lot of erasing. And I thought about not putting the coloring book up for sale anymore. But then I just thought about not everybody starts off perfect. When I finished this coloring book, I was proud of what I had accomplished. So now that I've grown more and I did more research and I've kind of sought out a better process, I just have to learn from my mistakes and keep it pushing. I don't think I should not sell the product just because it's not 100% perfect. I mean, come on. That's just not how business works unless you're using something that's like a necessity, if it's malfunctioning clothes or it's food that's not up to grade, that's completely different. But this is a coloring book. There's room for mistakes, but I just realized I just can't charge an arm and a leg. And not that I want to though, because why would I want to? This is a coloring book. I don't want to charge an arm and a leg anyways, but I definitely scaled the price down because even though I put a lot of effort and time, the quality was not worth the price that I wanted to put my coloring book up for in the first place. So, and honestly, I might lower it even more just because as an artist myself, I just see the inconsistencies, and I don't want anybody to feel oh my gosh, she just sold us a bunch of, sold us a bag of dreams. I want people to actually come back and say, yes, I enjoyed this product, even in its early stages. I'm just closing the gap on this hairline, because it's a bit thick, it's a bit wide. There's a sad, tragic story about you can still have hair, but you can still end up with a thicker part than you're supposed to. My mom, she was doing this little it was the first time I actually got long bundles for myself, and all I asked her to do was just put them in there. So she did that. She's a hairdresser, by the way. She does hair. So she did it. And when I got to the bathroom, I couldn't help but notice how thick she made the middle part. It just did not look right. And I'm just am I bald right there? No, I'm not. Even when my hair was a shorter length, I still was fine. I think that was the first warning sign that I can't let her touch my hair anymore. That was one of the first warning signs. And I started to realize is she losing it? And then okay, so I'm at school, right? And I'm just whatever, I'm not taking this out. I just got this in. I'm just gonna leave it for a few days, for a while, whatever. And this guy, like, he took a picture of it and put it on Snapchat, and it was so embarrassing. And this girl, she came up to me and she was like, is this you? And she did not, first of all, shout out to that girl, because she did not know me from Adam to Eve. Like, she did not know me. She didn't have to come to me and was like, hey, this dude did this, or whatever. She didn't know how to do that, but she did. And so I went up to him and I clocked his tea. I'm like, don't post me on your social media because you're trying to be funny or some shit. Like, he was like, I ain't do nothing, I do nothing. I'm showing him the shit like, oh, so this not you? You don't know anything about me. Don't fucking... Basically, I spazzed off on him and I walked away. He was a pretty big dude. Like, he was a pretty big dude. Like, you know those type of jocks in high school who, you know, they look like they've been there for a little too long. He was one of those. And so I was a little nervous coming up to him because, like, he could be an abuser. He could definitely hit me. But I'm not about to be out here like no bitch. Because you already even posted me and had your little laugh. So now I gotta say something and defend myself. And I did. And it was awkward, but I ain't see it again. So yeah, that's my little story time. Can we talk for a second again? I've been thinking about doing more story times. Even one of my favorite YouTubers that I've been watching since the beginning of YouTube itself, even he was like, is YouTube even story time? Like, is this even the story time kind of place anymore? And I feel like it is, but the wrong audience. It's like for certain audiences. Like nowadays, if you see a story time, it's pretty like that time I got into a fight. Like, you know, it's ratchet story times mostly. I'm gonna have to leave the edges alone because you just learn a lot from your stuff when you start using it. I'm just leave the edges alone because I don't really know what to do for it, so I'm just leave it. Or you know what? I'm gonna show you guys how you can get rid of it. I'm gonna show y'all how you can get rid of it. Anyways, because I have a lot of story times. The problem is that when you're on the internet, you don't want to give everything to the internet. You know, you don't want the internet to know all of your business. And so a lot of my story times, like, I'm the problem pretty much. And not like, oh, I'm the problem as in like I'm the reason why the story's happening. I mean like ratchet story times. I'm the, like, I would be enhancing that. And I just wonder if my platform is the place for that anymore. Like, if this was 2016, back in them days, like, yes. Okay, but then would I be here in 2025 thinking I should take that down? So I'm having that kind of dilemma, honestly. At the same time, I have like funny, cool, you know, stories, and I kind of want to explore that part because I also love the art of storytelling. Could me just be using my own stories as a reference be a nice gateway into that, you know? Then I have to decide which stories can I tell. Because there's some stories that can get some people caught up. I don't know. Like, I'm going to have to change names. It's like, I want to do it, but like, you know, you just be scared. You be scared for real. And for those of you who missed the first parts of this, it's on my TikTok and it's also on my YouTube. Oops, this is YouTube. It's in shorts pretty much. Like, it's on Instagram and stuff like that. Why should I be scared about my past experiences that have taught me so much, especially on my healing journey? Like, if I didn't go through these tragic things, like if that boy didn't post my hair on Snapchat, I think he was like that's not Remy hair or whatever. And it wasn't. Like, it was definitely what's it called? I was getting ready to say dollar store. But no, I would never. Would I? I don't know. Have I? Anyways, no, I haven't. Only time I found myself getting like questionable hair is like when I went to college and I was up in the mountains, so I had to get my braiding hair from off Amazon or get it before I leave. But then, like, Amazon hair is not really that bad if you're on a budget. If you don't have to do it, I wouldn't do it. But it will get you through some things. Yeah, if he didn't post that, like, I probably wouldn't have been able to, stand up for myself to other big niggas who want to do too much. Which I got college stories about that. Cause like, you go to the parties and they just be doing too much. Now I'm just really thinking about that moment, and I'm just like, dang, my little self really went up to him and was like, no. I probably look like a chickmunk with squirrel cheeks, just yapping off at the mouth. And like, I can laugh about it now, but like, don't hurt my feelings. I remember in college, we were at this bar. They called it, I don't know if I should say the name of the bar, because I was underage. I should not have been there, but like, where my school was, we didn't have clubs. They had bars. So don't worry, I still had a nice black experience, but they were bars. And we were at this little function at the bar, and this dude, my friend, knew. He was like, pressing up on her, and like, I usually don't get in, I don't get in the way if they're like, enjoying themselves. I mind my business, whatever, but she was not enjoying herself, and like, he tried to kiss her. Okay, so let me set the scene though. We're in a semi-crowded bar. Niggas is definitely drunk. This dude, he's dark skinned. He's probably like 6'5" or something. And my friend, she's a Brazilian. She is tall, statuesque kind of woman. So she was not enjoying herself in his presence. And so I peeped that. And I go over there and I slap him. And this man is looking at me like, now I'm 5'2" and 5'3" with shoes on. Without shoes is 5'2". They're both 6 foot. And here comes little chickmunk, squirrel cheek Sante, slapping this nigga like, don't fucking touch my friend. Da, 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 da. And that's what's interesting to me, is like, I am not a raging drunk or anything. I'm actually one of those people, like, I get some drinks and I want to hug. Like, I want to feel things. Like, anyways, so I'm like a nice, like, friendly, cuddly, I'm trying to turn up drunk. Not that I will slap a bitch in the face, but I have done it a few times drunk. It's like, it's crazy how your mood could really just switch at any moment. Like, you really put your life on the line because in the moment, like, you just be all riled up, and you're just like, oh, like, don't touch her. And he was looking at me like I was insane, and she was like, thank you. But like, she was like, I can handle it, I'm okay, like, da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, because you wasn't looking like you was okay. Like, he tried to kiss you, you ain't want to kiss him. Like, I saw it on your face. Oh my god, I have so many stories. I'm just gonna have to go ahead and just do story times on the channel. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. It's just, when trends change and you just feel like there's nowhere to go back. Yeah, I've had like many instances where people who I felt like aren't able to speak up for themselves, I had to do it. And so I've had a lot of awkward encounters because of that. I guess sometimes it's really not wanted, but for the greater good, like, it's necessary, because a lot of people get taken advantage of and aren't able to find help. And even though these people, they don't be like appreciative in the moment, but they always come after and be like, oh my gosh, thank you, da 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 da. And I'm like, yeah, I know how it goes. Somebody has to be the one to make the awkward movements and moments just so people could be at peace, because imagine if I had just stood around and this guy is like forcing kisses. Like, come on now, why would I'm not going out like that. Or at least I wouldn't let anybody else go out like that. But I think what's messed up is that I haven't had anybody stand up for me like that. So it's probably why I go so hard. Because I'm just like, when I needed it, nobody cared to do anything, or it's just a bunch of silence. And I'm just like, not me. I'm not going to be the silent person. I'm definitely one of those, if you see something, say something kind of things. I'm lucky I haven't been witnessed anything crazy, like super crazy, but I've experienced super crazy, but I haven't witnessed it as a standby person without doing anything. Well, especially not in my older, like, as an older, more mature woman. There's just a lot, it's just too much craziness going on for people to act like, no, it's okay. Like, I've had to check men for not checking their own homeboys. Like, why would you allow your homeboy to act like this towards a woman? Something's wrong with y'all. Anyways. But now I'm like, I'm completely by myself, so I don't really have to worry too much about that. I'm grateful that, you know, I learned like what I would like in real true friends, you know? Whether it be by being that true friend to myself or just by being in solitude and realizing like, damn, niggas never had my back. Other than that, I'm just working on this gradient. Don't know if this is going to be all talking or some talking, some... I just didn't want to leave it on niggas never had my back. I didn't want to leave it there. So I was just downstairs, you know, greeting guests. And, you know, one of them was like, oh my gosh, she still looks the same. Like, she still has a baby face. And I was just like, honestly, like, I know I'm very sweet, cute, and cuddly. But, like, I just thought, like, at the age of 26... I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like the cuteness was fading and there's more like grown woman face. But I don't think I'll ever, I don't know if that exists for people like me. Like, some people, they naturally have grown woman face. Other people, they have chick bum cheeks and big eyes for the rest of their life. And it passes on from generation to generation. Jeez. And I'm like, I'm not mad at it though. It's just like, dang. And now I don't know what to do with the letters because I just did all that extra stuff in the background. Don't worry, y'all. I am going to clean this up because I'm not a big fan of the line art that I produced. I'm going to change the hue of it and then blend it in and see how that looks. So I'm thinking I'm going to just leave it white. I really just wanted to finish this. So, like, doing this first coloring book just really taught me so much, you know, and I think one of the biggest things was I also was kind of rushing. I just wanted to kind of just put myself out there already. Like, I was so tired of being like, okay, when it's finished, you know, when it's finished. I just wanted it to be finished so that I could finally come out of hiding. I could post on my Instagram, I could do this, but it never occurred to me to post the process with you guys. So, soon we'll be getting videos of me working on my next coloring book. And you guys will literally see how I took my errors from this first coloring book and turned them into triumphs. Because the second one is definitely... I like to think that things have feelings. So I don't want to say this one was bad. Like, it was cute. I think it was an amazing first attempt at a coloring book. For someone who's never made a coloring book. And I don't mean like, you know how like you search up how to make a coloring book and all you get is people on Canva telling you to use those images? No, I did use some of them, but I didn't use all of them. You can tell which ones are hand-drawn and which ones are from Canva. And that was another thing I did not like. Because like I'm really a talented artist. It's just practice will always make perfect. And I've never been much of a line art kind of person unless it's through sketching. You see? So when doing this, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like 75% of the coloring book is the line art. You don't get to color until it's finished. Oh. So I struggled. I really did struggle with my line art. Now because of this coloring book, my line art is going to be better. So that is something I'm looking forward to. Ooh. Jeez, I don't know how that's gonna work. If I blended all of this out, like, how would that work? Let's just experiment. And if I don't like it, guess what? I can ditch the video. Like, one thing's for certain, this is definitely not how I saw the image going. But I'm not entirely upset at it at the same time. It's kind of cool. Like, she kind of looks like she's glowing. I didn't expect... I'm glad I didn't give up on this. Like, it may not be perfect. I'm going to have to do something with the lines. Because, like, with all these highlights, it's all about to be a lot. So, I can just erase that. See, y'all might not be able to jam out, but I'm gonna. But if you do want to jam out to me with the music of my choice, I also will be doing live streams. And I promise, like, this isn't the cream of the crop of my art skills, okay, guys? But I started it and I want to finish it. That's what this is, okay? So right now, I've actually streamed before, and I actually got pretty good at it. And then trauma happened, and I left, and I got locked out of the accounts pretty much. And I didn't want. Okay, so I already had a feeling that I didn't want to resume activity on that page anymore. And sure enough, me getting locked out of that account was kind of like, okay, maybe you aren't supposed to restart the streaming on that platform or on that page anymore. Like, maybe this is a sign that you should actually start over. And so, that being said, welcome to Ori's World. I cannot wait to start streaming again, though, just because this time, even though I had to start over, so I was monetized on 2 platforms, Kick and Twitch. So I actually finally made like my first $100. I think it was $165. It was the first time I made money off of streaming, and I was so proud of myself. You know, I think certain people saw that, and it was like, okay, it's time to start spiritually attacking her again. Who does she think she is? To start doing better for herself. Like, come on. It's kind of wild, but that's what happened. That experience, just how quick everything went down. Like, I probably started, I was streaming a year before I had got monetized. I wasn't consistent. I got into this group of people. The premises of the group, which is not why was not why I stayed there to begin with. But I found out, like, they really do help you, like, grow monetize, right? Under what conditions? You feel me? Under what conditions? So, but yeah, I was in the group for a little bit while, and, like, I was in the community, should I say. I stumbled upon this community, and at first glance, I was like, oh, okay, like, this is cool. Like, I think I can, you know, vibe with these people. Because every time I start streaming, I always end up finding myself a little community. It just happens. And yeah, but this one, it was rooted in a lot of lust, a lot of people using other people to get up, and it's just like, I didn't expect that. I didn't know people was doing that. I thought that was just for, you know, people who be trying to get famous. I didn't think that streamers were on that shit too, but I was very naive. Like, you know, I ended up having myself a little community and got verified on both of the, not verified, you know, monetized on both of the platforms. Which crazy is, like, it was within the span of like 3 months where I was able to be monetized on both platforms, which I was like so very proud of. And then I think like a month or 2 after that is when I got my first, you know, little shmoneys. It was a weird timeline. I think it was maybe 3 months after that, because you can get verified, but it doesn't mean you finna start getting money, right? I was so proud of myself, right? Because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I stayed committed. I kept pursuing it. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was thinking that. But I did notice that I wasn't taking care of myself the way I should have. I was not prioritizing sleep. Wasn't really too good at keeping my schedules. And I was definitely supporting other people way more than I was supporting myself. And I still had so many insecurities. Like, I didn't even want to do anything with Facecam at all. But like, I think the community I was with, they kind of like inspired me to just go for it. Like, because I'm thinking I should wait till I'm like, let's be real. I'm thinking I should wait till I'm like, you know, I lost weight, I did this and that, whatever, I got my own place. But no, like, this community, you know, there was all types of different people, you know. There was people who was bigger, there was people who was smaller, embracing who they were. Like, they wasn't trying to be perfect, is what I thought. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. What was it? I think I did this event for the girl who pretty much introduced me to everybody, because it was her community. I did this live event, and like, you know, they was gassing me up a little bit, you know? So that's what made me kind of like, okay, I'm going to, I'll turn the face cam on, whatever. I thought I found me a group of people, like, we would be on VR all day, all night, and we would have a blast. Like, if I was able to record that, that would be a moment in history for the channel, because that's how good the content was. But we were just doing it for fun. That's the crazy part. We were just doing it for fun. So I'm like, okay, I really found my people, you know. But and then what was crazy was like the people who I was bonding the most with. It wasn't the person who brought me kind of into the group and introduced me to everybody. You know, I made those connections within the group on my own. I was living for it, you know. We went through some emotional, spiritual, crazy roller coasters, and I was just like, dang, this my people though. Like, we finna make it. And yeah, then let's just say my spiritual senses started tingling, and as soon as I started to get wise about what was really going on, that's when it all started going downhill, because I wasn't compliant with how things usually work. You can't blame me for that. Why would I want to conform to this bullshit? And then that's when I also started realizing, like, this success that I started having, it was amazing, but at the same time, it was fraudulent, because I just felt like it was giving more so follow for follow. But like, people, just because they follow you and they get you so you can get your monetization goals, you still have to show up, you still have to stream, you still have to make connections on your own, which I was doing, I always do. But it just started to dawn on me, like, there's a lot of people following me, but they're not really showing up. Nobody's required to show up, like, when you stream at all. It's just a privilege if they do. And I'm just like, that's okay, it's kind of weird, but whatever. And it just, I don't know, things just slowly just started to unravel. Like, the truth about what everybody was doing behind closed doors, what people were willing to put up with. I would do a complete story time on it for sure. But I was like a newborn child to, like, compared to these people. And they were used to how things were, and I wasn't. So I started letting people know who I really cared about. Like, look, this is what's really going on in this group. You can choose what you want to do, but I'm out. And honestly, that's the reason why a lot of people don't really like me. I start to notice some shit, and then I say something about it if I care about you. If I don't care about you, I'm not going to waste my time. But I cared about most of them. I cared about these people. So I started letting them know one by one, like, look, this is what's happening. You're being taken advantage of, whatever. And a lot of people's like, oh my goodness. Really? Oh, wow, I didn't know that is. Like, they was faking. They knew. They all knew what was going on behind the scenes. They were used to it. They didn't really care. And I'm just like, how could you be okay with settling for less? Some people were really nice until the very end, though. Like, they was checking in on me, making sure I was straight. But it's just like, at the end of the day, you're also a part of the problem. Because you low-key, you knew what was going on. And like, I would be coming to these people pouring my heart out, which was a mistake. But yeah, I'd be coming to them like, something is going on, like, I do not feel right spiritually, mentally, like, something shady is happening here. And the whole time, they already knew, because this is how it works. So I got up out of there. And what's crazy is, this also aligned with the trauma that was happening to me off camera too. And basically I just, ended up finding out that it was all connected the whole time. To have all these people playing with your spirit and you don't even know, it takes a toll on you. I'm also not trying to blame everything on everybody else. Like, I wasn't strong enough. My faith wasn't strong enough in Father the Most High. So when things was getting hard, I'm just like, I'm out, I'm done, I quit. When he was trying to deliver me from these people, he never said that I should stop pursuing my goals. He never said that, but I wasn't close enough with him at the time, so I gave up. And then I also had to move out of the place that I was staying at, which is where I'm at right now, because there's like this, it's like this little stupid dance that I do with the person who lives here, where it's like, when I start actually doing good for myself, they can sense it, so they start baiting me into like arguments. And I always fall for it, because like, I have to defend myself because nobody else will defend me. And I just don't like being treated like a slave or like an animal. Don't like being taken advantage of. I'm just not with none of that. So because I stood up for myself, I got kicked out pretty much. And then that was like, literally after I had my first subathon, after I made my first little 165, like, I'm just like, why? It wasn't even me. It was just like, Father the Most High was just like, did you see that? Do you believe me now? Because I'd already started to wake up spiritually. The things that he was telling me to do, I wasn't listening, because I could swore that I'm good, I can do it on my own, You know, I don't need to completely separate myself from people. I can do this the way I'm trying to do this. And he was like, okay. 2023, 2024 was like, that was just it was a crazy, dark, beautiful 2 years. Now I'm finally like, okay, I will be obedient. And so now, all that to say is like, I'm starting a new channel. I've started a new channel, started a new platform, new name, everything. Like, I really don't want the people who had access to me before to have access to me now. And with that also being said, I will never fall for a follow for follow type of group anyway. Like, the only time that shit actually truly was working was back in 2016 or before 2016 type era vibe. You know, like back then I had way more followers than I was supposed to for like a person who wasn't famous, if that makes sense. Because I'll be in those groups where you follow and you make connections and da 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 da. Like back then it was a little bit more, it was different. But nowadays that shit is not cool. Like, and it drains on you, because instead of getting organic people who actually like your content and come through, you assume like, okay, they're gonna come through, they're gonna do this. Like, all the people that were supporting me at that time, I really made those beautiful connections on my own. And then I would get like here and there random people who stop by and like my vibe, and I was starting to build that. But I noticed that those people, it takes longer for them to get there if you don't already have a supportive group of friends. And that's what I experienced a little bit like the first time around when I started streaming a year before that. So yeah, bottom line is, what is the bottom line? I guess I would say the bottom line is, I'm excited for this new journey. I'm excited to meet people organically, and I'm excited to test out my judgment of character, because I have so many story times. Oh my gosh. Wow. And it's crazy how people will start calling you like famous just because a few people be on your lives or be on your streams or whatever. To me, it just feels like I'm a girl in her room gaming with a few friends, and some people are watching. That's all it felt like to me. Then I had to remember, this is the same exact thing. It's like when you join a sorority in college. Everybody was telling me people were going to start changing. People were going to start acting weird because of you and you and the things that you're doing. And I didn't believe them, because I'm like, bro, I'm just in a group. I'm just now, like, only thing that's different about me is that I'm a part of this group. I'm wearing some different colors. People want to see me on campus more, doing more community stuff and things of that nature. You join a sorority, it's like you're fake college famous, pretty much. Like, I had people opening doors for me who usually would have just walked past me. You know, everybody knows you all of a sudden. I'm like, what, y'all? I was like, what? Why are you guys acting like this? It's just me, guys. It's just Sante. Like, even my friends started acting a little bit weird, you know? Story times for later. Anyways, like, the guys acted weird. There was like this ongoing joke I had with myself. Every guy that I decided to, you know, let's just say mess with, ended up going Greek. And I'm just like, is that my fault? Or, like, even the guy who put me on, even when me and him was messing together, he was, you know, gearing up to be a part of that kind of. So I blame him, to be honest with you. He was the first, and after that, everybody who I messed with after that would end up turning over. Is something wrong? So yeah, when I started to get a little bit more views and a little bit more attention, everybody just started coming out the woodworks, you know. And I had people actually like acting like they can get clout from me, and I'm just like, how are you gonna get clout from me? Like, and not to say I wasn't grateful. I was so grateful when my friends showed up to the stream, you know, when we had our beautiful moments and conversations. I was just happy to have friends again. I guess people just act like because I had a little bit more attention or spotlight on me that meant that I was on some different type of stuff. Like, Father the Most High really showed me what to do, what not to do in that moment. And so I'll always be grateful for the experience. But I'm like, yeah, when I start this up, it's the new name, new channel, everything. Like, I'm going to have to do something different for these cup letters, because you can't really see the faith first anymore. But she looks cool, at least. I do think it's ruined, and I don't really know how to finish this. But I don't want to start over, especially because we just had all this fun conversation. I'm just going to have to go in and re-outline, like, the eyes and the face first. Faith first, excuse me. And that's the other thing about the whole process was I was not praying enough. I was not letting God lead my steps the way I was supposed to in these endeavors, which is why so many people were able to gain access to me spiritually and manipulate the situation for what they needed it to be. And then also I realized, like, just because you just started out, you think that nobody's really watching you. People who have been in this industry and the game are watching. They are watching. Some of them are taking notes and imitating it. Imitating you, what you do. I was completely in shock. Because I'm like, the most people I had in the stream was like maybe 20, 30 people. And that is a lot. But compared to the people who were like watching me and doing all this stuff behind my back, they had hundreds of people daily. You know, they have forces. They have an army of people supporting them. I'm like, why? What is it about me that has, first of all, attracted you? You know, I just wasn't understanding how magnetic my spirit was. And that really just showed me about stuff that was happening even before streaming, like off camera. Just as clear as day as they can see you. They can see how bright your spirit is and all this other stuff. That they see you in person, it's the same thing on camera. There is literally no difference. And so going forward, I have my eyes completely open. Like, if something doesn't feel right, you're blocked, you're done, you're out of here, you're done. That's also another thing, is like, the people that this community was attracting, like, a lot of them were creeps. So I was exposed to that, which was traumatizing. And even though I'm not cool with everybody like I used to be, I still did meet some amazing people. People who, like, if God allows me, I would love to come back and, like, you know, resume where we left off or start fresh, you know? Like, it was a time. I will say that. It was definitely a time. Like, I made music. I did things that, you know, I just thought I wasn't able to do. And I've been completely inspired by just the entire experience. Even before I even got monetized, like the year before when I was streaming then, or just when I was on Twitch actively with different communities, meeting new people, I had so much fun. It's crazy to think that I didn't know that this type of thing existed. Because I had a friend, she knew all about this stuff. And I feel like she knew that I would love to have fun and be a part of it too, but like, she was pretty much hiding it from me. And I didn't know she was doing that at first. But she would go and she would tell me about all these fun things that were happening with her and her online friends, whatever. And I was like, I would always be like, oh my God, that sounds fun. Like, what platform is this? I would ask questions and she just wouldn't tell me. I'm like, all right, whatever, you know? But it's like, I was a part of things that she wasn't a part of, that she really wanted to be a part of. And I would give her the complete details, rundown. Like, literally, whatever questions that she had, I would answer them to the full, like, my full capabilities. And I would put in good words for her, recommendations, all this stuff. Like, if she ever needed anything, I would be right there cheering her on. So I just thought it was weird. And that's the other thing. We were supposed to be making YouTube videos together, which would have been fucking hilarious. But that's the other thing. Like, in collabs, like, in group settings, I, like, really thrive. I don't know what it is. When I'm with other people, it allows me to be more comfortable to be my full self. Which is crazy because, like, when I'm by myself, I should be able to do that too, right? But it's just different when you can feed back off of somebody and have organic jokes. I think that's the type of content I like the most. But it does say a lot when you're able to stand out on your own. So that's also something that Father the Most High is teaching me as well. But I cannot wait to have community again. I miss collaboration. Anyways, me and this girl were supposed to be gaming together. Like, I didn't even have to be a part of her friend group or anything either, you know, but just to put me on so I can start seeing what it's like on my own would have been nice. I kept asking her questions, but she wouldn't tell me. And it's just like, if you don't know, you don't know where to look, you don't know where to find out. So boom. Yeah, we were supposed to play Minecraft together, do some Sims content and story-based decision games. She would control the buttons, but I would make the decisions because she knew, like, I am commentary galore and she's very good with quick actions, timings, and reactions and stuff like that. So I would do the commentary, make the decisions, she would press the buttons, and it worked. Like, if you guys are able to see that, that would be another staple in the timeline of content on this channel, and her channel as well. Like, we were a really good, hilarious team together, for sure. But I didn't realize, like, she wasn't really trying to play as a team. She said she was, I thought she was, we were best friends. So I was like, okay, whatever. But she was gatekeeping. I'm like, Then I think it wasn't until after, God was like, okay, it's time for you to let her go, that I finally did find streaming. It's no coincidence for sure. But I'm like, oh, this is the stuff that she was talking about. I'm like, this is cool. Why? This is cool. Like, why would you hide this? Like, cause if I knew like YouTube and stuff wasn't just for like, it's crazy cause like, it wasn't until 2018 that I seen that people were gaming on YouTube. 2018, y'all. I think I really wanted to watch people play The Sims because I couldn't. And so I found people like Alexis Ariel and Urban X Simmer and Sony Daniels and, people like that. And I just was having the time of my life watching these videos. And then when I got to college, okay, it wasn't 2018. 2018 was when I tried to post my first video. But it was 2017, 2016 when I realized there was Sims content. I had no idea about any other gaming content besides Sims. What is that? I think it's 2017, 2018 is when I found out who Dashy was. He changed my whole perspective. I'm like, there are people doing this on the internet? But he wasn't on Twitch. So I didn't know anything. I just knew it was YouTube people were doing gaming stuff. So he was the main person that I was watching, like, for horror games and stuff. I didn't know about anybody else. And which makes me mad because, like, there are so many people out there doing this, like, doing similar things. And I would have loved. And they were doing reactions and all this stuff. Like, I just didn't know that was allowed. Like, I grew up on funny videos and beauty content and college stuff, lifestyle stuff. I don't know. God just got a funny way of working. Cause like then this dude I was talking to, he was like his favorite gamers is such and such, and I'm like, I don't know none of these names. So he gave me a list of names. And I'm like, I don't know none of these people. And I'm like, they black? I'm like, yeah, they black. Like, okay, so my friend, she did put me onto this group called Game Grumps, and then she put me onto what's his name, Markiplier. So I thought that was what the gaming community was. So I was like, okay. These people are hilarious, but like I want to see this in black, pretty much. And so the only person I had, on my channel was Dashy. So me and this dude were talking, and so I'm naming these names. And you know what though? I did have people who did like skits and comedy and animated videos and stuff like that, like Susie. So I had that. So that's the people I was naming. I was naming like Susie, Dashy, and a few other people that was in the game groups because they weren't funny. Like I was a fan. So yeah, I was naming them. He was like, okay, that's cool. Then he put on his list of names. And I was like, who the hell are these people? I'm like, are they black? Like, they sound black. And so I started looking them up, and these people they're hilarious. And I'm like, this is a whole new world, and I'm inspired now, Like the whole timeline of just me and content creation is really, I would love to tell it in a more detailed, organized way. But needless to say, I am very excited to come back to the streaming world. And this time, it's not for fake. It's not rooted in craziness. This time, I'm doing it with Father the Most High, and I'm taking my time. I don't care how long it takes for me to rebuild a new place of stability with content creation. I'm taking my time, and I'm not letting anybody rush me. I'm not letting anybody force me to do anything I'm not comfortable with. I'm not letting anybody kick me out. I'm not falling for the bull. I'm going to completely do this journey, me and my spiritual team, whoever's on the journey with me. It's going to be fun. It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun. But I definitely will say, like, I'm going to have to go through the whole process of just sitting there, eventually waiting for at least one person to comment. Something I noticed is, like, the random viewer who, like, actually wants to interact with you. Because I didn't stop completely streaming, but I would come back and do a little, gaming from my PlayStation. And people would come through, and they would, like, be real cool. Like, this was genuine, me making genuine connections. And it was happening a little bit more than I thought. So, I'm just curious to see what's going to happen this time. Now that it's a new channel, nobody know me. I don't know nobody. The one thing about it is not giving up. But I realized, like, I keep giving up is because, like, I keep getting asked to just trust what's being planned for me. And I've never been experienced what it's like to truly be cared for or taken care of by anybody. So, when you're building a relationship with Father the Most High, that's what he needs from you. It's for you to completely trust him. The energy. I realized I've been back and forth with this battle for 5 years now. I don't even know what it's like to trust my own self. And when you trust Father the Most High, you also have to trust yourself because he's within you. It's a whole cycle. And I discovered that on the podcast that I was doing when I was streaming. It would take me a minute to follow through on what he said. I learned the information, but you can't just stop there. You have to practice it. So it takes me a long time to start practicing what he's been teaching me. It's really when things get hard. When things get hard, I just completely. I'm a full grown ass babe. This is hard. But it's crazy because like I've been through worse. And I feel like he be looking at me like, you really taking a long time to get this through your head, as if you haven't been through the ringer already multiple times. I'm like, I can't wait to just get down to the bottom of it, because yes, I know like being manipulated spiritually and just the combination of the trauma that you've been through has a part to play in our disobedience and not wanting to really truly dive into our highest potentials. There's something else that's like this threshold that only you have access to. Like you have to have a certain amount of willpower to cross this threshold that's stopping you from being the best that you could be. And I've been face to face with this threshold for some months now. And I've come across it before, but this is the first time I'm starting to be like, it's me. Like there's something I'm not releasing and I'm not ready to let go of. People have been attacking me my entire life and I've survived. So the only thing that's really stopping me right now is me. It's always like that. Honestly, it doesn't matter what kind of healing journey you're on. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in. It's you who's the overall overseer. Just like with the whole idea of just Father the Most High, he has a calming sense about him that's just like, his energy is just like so calm and serene. I mean, this energy has created universes and things of that nature. And for us to be an extension of him, that sort of calmness throughout all types of tragedy, it's within us. Because like there's like this stable core that's just like, hey, it's really already taken care of. Are you ready? And he, like, Father knows how carries that energy entirely, because that's where we get it from, right? I'm trying to explain it in a way that y'all can get what I'm trying to put down. What I'm saying is, you know how like he has that father figure energy, the ultimate supreme parental, not even just father, like mother, father, like he has that ultimate energy of like everything's going to be okay type of vibe, right? We have that too. It's in order to get past that barrier that we put up for ourselves to be our best, we have to embody that energy of everything will be fine. That's what I'm trying to say. And that is what directly connects us to him as well, because we are tapped into his purest of energy of it's all taken care of, everything's working out. You know how people be saying, say the mantra, all that stuff. They're not joking. Like, imagine taking care of the entire universe and you're not freaking out. We have that ability to feel that way. So that's what I'm trying to say, pretty much. I'm like, so lately that's just been, it'll take some time, but that's what I've been working on. Trying to become deeply rooted within that energy that is Father the Most High, which is that I'm supported, I'm taken care of. It's the whole idea of people wanting to live a soft life through Christ. That's what they say. Or soft girl life, whatever. Like, it's that not having to struggle every 5 seconds trying to make a decision, not letting your challenges overtake you. It looks different for everybody's situation. But yeah, but this next part of the journey, I want to embody that. I do not want to be worried about, oh my gosh, anybody even want to show up, or people even find me funny, or I just want it to be organic and natural. I don't really want to have to worry about if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm saying the right thing, or if I'm attracting the right people. I don't want to be scared if people from the past try to find me or whatever. I don't want to be living in doubt and worrying. And I realized like this is the moment where it's all that's over. I did all that struggling so I can get to this. And a part of it is kind of scary. It's just like, okay, finally, it's happening. Don't give up when it gets to that point of feeling like, when it gets to like, when you're ready to start doubting yourself and overthinking and worrying too much. It's like, I've been putting this video off for months. I mean, I launched my store. I launched it last year. What was it? It was summer? Yeah. Summer, fall. I launched it. Yeah, it was summer. It was the end of summer I launched it. And I also posted my first little video. Nothing from nobody. And I just felt so entitled that I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just gonna go get a 9 to 5. Cause I was rushing because like I need finances. I need a safe place to stay. I need this, that, and the third. It's pretty much tired of not being able to take care of myself, when the whole point of me being in a situation that I'm in now is so that I can stop trying so hard to take care of myself. Imagine how much love you might have to have for your lesson to be stop trying to take care of yourself. So I'm thinking, I'm being punished and I'm being sent to hell because I'm irresponsible. I was naming all these different things in the book because I don't know how to, commit. Like, it was all these different things I was saying is the reason why I'm here and not out there living the life of my dreams, right? Which I will say, like, it's part of it, you know, but the biggest thing was that I wasn't trusting in Father the Most High. Anytime that he would give me a leadway, I would be like, okay, I got the rest. He does not want us to do that. He wants us to pretty much have the mindset, oh, my Father got it. Like, Father the Most High, he got it. Oh, I'll know when to move because I trust his timing. Like, he wants us to trust him. Like, I thought him taking all of my friends, all of my finances, all of my, what I thought were opportunities, I thought him taking all of that away was to punish me for something horrible that I did, or just for not being a responsible adult. You know, I thought all of this was punishment, when in reality, he was trying to just prepare me for something more. But in order to prepare you, he has to, you know, some stuff has to leave. And with me, everything had to go. So, like, just imagine that. Like, imagine having to clear up your shop completely, but you barely had a shop in the first place. I've been just so confused, and it's just hard to believe that a higher power doesn't want you to, because they teach you growing up, like, work. But I always knew, like, that's not for me. It's just crazy to believe, like, that's actually true. It's not for me. And it's not to say that I should just be laying about being lazy all day, every day, just waiting. Because he also had to teach me, put your energy into the right things. So while I may not want you to 9 to 5 it, which is nothing wrong with 9 to 5s, because some people are called to be in specific fields. May not want you to, you know, do that, but you still have to put in work, which means you should still be doing your art. You know, you still should be taking care of your health. You still should be, you know, being wise with your finance. Because if I give you such and such amount of money, I need to know that you're not going to spend it all on stupid shit. Me being here was those lessons. All of those lessons. Look, I still got a ways to go. I'm not gonna front. Okay, this is actually not looking bad. This is actually not looking bad at all. I'm gonna have to re-outline the face to, like, because I don't know how the lashes are gonna look. And then I had to redo the face first, but other than that, everything else looks pretty cool. So it's, like, safe to say, it's been hard for me to believe, like, my biggest lesson's gonna have to be releasing control when I felt like I've never had control to begin with. Just imagine that. Because I know some of you probably already living through that, and it's just like, all he's waiting for you to do is release control and trust. But you've never been able to do that before. Which is why that's your challenge. Or for you to, you know, if you've been dependent on other people all your life, now you're going to have to not only not be dependent on those people anymore, but you have to transfer that dependence to a higher power. Which is like, you can see those physical people, so it's easy to, you know, quote unquote trust them, but you can't always see the Most High. You can't always see your ancestors, not in the beginning at least. So for you to trust something totally unseen, just a feeling, when the whole world is like, you're crazy, that's a challenge. And to anybody else going through that, man, shout out to us, because we're literally doing what people are saying are impossible. Come to find out it's not. I mean, you look at anybody's situation who has had to deal with releasing control, and they'll always be like, I just can't believe, like, I'm being asked to do such and such and such, you know? I'm being asked to do this for a living. Like, they're in awe because, you know, like, unless you have good, amazing parents or a community, you would assume, like, you have to go out there and slave before you get the chance to really have fun at life. And all you have to do is heal. But that's harder. Shouldn't be, but it definitely is. So shout out to that journey. And this is a community where we can talk about that stuff. You know, spiritual things that a lot of people are scared to talk about spiritual things, but not around these parts. I do have my limitations, but for the most part, I like being authentic and open about my spiritual journey because it's a whole world out there unexplored. Most people who have access to it that we get exposed to are people who are manipulating it and doing bad things. So people will assume, oh yeah, the spiritual world it's not for us. It's for you know, people who do bad, pretty much, or people who are like overly religious. And it's like spirituality and religion is different things. So a lot of people are getting confused right now. You know, the greater good is happening, right? Because people can go into a certain religion not even knowing they're about to wake up spiritually through that process. So I do not judge. I just feel like as long as you are getting close and doing it with the Most High, you'll be fine. No matter what race, creed, nationality, specific religion, if you start just trusting the Father of the Most High, you'll be fine. And you can call him something different either. Like, I call him Father of the Most High, so when I'm praying, the energy knows exactly where it's going. If the spiritual, you know, chats aren't for you, I definitely understand. But it's something I'm not really willing to let go of, ever. It's changed. Like, it's done so much good for me the way it's supposed to. You know, it's woken up so many things. It's exposed me the way it's supposed to. So I can't do any of this without addressing that. And I think most people are feeling that way as well. Like, most of the conversations I have with people that are actually meaningful, always I'm talking about Father of the Most High. Or I'm like talking about healing and spirituality. And like, I'm not saying I don't have fun. Like, we was just talking about smacking niggas. Excuse me. But see how we ended up here with it? I just hope to achieve a nice balance, right? Where we can have fun, where we can chill, but we can also, we are supposed to be healing, you know? And that's a journey that never will end. And that's the other thing that always had me quitting, is because I thought, like, okay, I did this dark night of the souls, or what they call it. I had this tower moment. There's more. There's always going to be more, because all of it's just like big lessons. The reason why sometimes it hurts more than it should is because you're still trying to do it all on your own. Like, I was trying to do a fast, and I abandoned the fast because, first of all, I felt like I was about to die. But secondly, I don't think I was prepared enough to trust the process with Father of the Most High. It will always go back to that. I wasn't prepared to trust him enough. With that journey. And I realized after breaking that fast earlier than I wanted to, I realized that was a common denominator. I was supposed to ask him for more help. I was supposed to rely on him for more energy. Like, that is the premise. And that's when that whole realization of, I still don't trust the Most High all the way yet. So of course, when things get hard, I'm gonna go back to what I know works. And he'll let me do that, right? He'll let me do that. And then he'll also let me come to the realization that it didn't work. I still need him, you know? And like, I don't know, I guess for some people that could sound like really bad, but for me, it just makes me feel truly cared about, right? Because easily, he could not care about me at all and leave me where I'm at. You know, he don't have to come back for me, or he don't have to send people to help me, and none of that stuff. And then if you did grow up like me, then it's just like, you're so used to people abandoning you, whether it be your fault. Well, it's never nobody's fault if someone abandons you, right? It's them. But like, whether you did anything wrong or not, you're used to people just abandoning you. So to be forming this beautiful relationship where no matter how bad you've done, you know, and I ain't do nothing crazy like that, you know, I ain't breaking laws, so I'm gonna say that though. But regardless, no matter what, there's still open arms, a whole community that you can't necessarily see in the beginning, who's like, okay, you made a mistake, did you learn from it? You know? And like, people like me, we did not grow up having that at all. It was, you made a mistake, you're horrible. Healing is just a bunch of unlearning, for sure. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do for the mug though, but something's gonna happen. So if you are interested in this coloring book, even through all its imperfections, doing stuff like manipulating the main layer will help you with inconsistent line art. You can still end up making a beautiful piece. And because it's digital, like, you just have more power, you know. But I will say this, if you do support the coloring book, first of all, I appreciate it, but once again, I am making another one, and I've learned from the mistakes, and I am very much excited to show you what I learned. I really enjoy my craft, and I really enjoy being an artist, so I want all my work to reflect that. I just realized I did a whole story time, talked about Father of the Most High, talked about my experience. I did not even begin to even say who I am, or what's going on, or anything. Okay, so first of all, welcome to the channel, 40 minutes in, but my name is Sante Ori, and honestly, I don't even know what to say. Like, this is my channel, I like to do art. I've been doing it since I was a young little girl. I am now 26, yeah, 26, and I also have another channel, which is for gaming. Well, when I do stream, all the VODs are pretty much going to go over there, even the art. Even the art VODs where we're just doing art, that's still gonna go over there. I don't really know what else to say. I'm one of those people get to know me over time type of thing. I don't know, like I love dancing. I like anything art. I like dancing, I like writing. I love telling stories. I just need to get more organized about my approach and how I tell the stories. Because I can draw stuff out pretty long that don't need to be. And I'd be saying things twice. Like just now, so yeah. So I do have a business, Cosmic Diaries Shop, for like specific cosmic attributes that I wanted to highlight about my life and my experience through art. So I have a free journal for the Daily Rituals collection as well. I feel like one of the things I loved is having things that everybody can access. You know how annoying it is to want to support somebody so bad, but financially you can't. So for those of you who still want to support, or you just want to add something more creative to your healing journey, I'm gonna try my best to create something that's free, a freebie. And I feel like just who doesn't like to get something for free, you know? The shop was already open. It's been open it's literally about to, honestly, when did I open the shop? It was last October. So we've been open for some months now, but now I'm finally taking my art, I was taking it seriously, but like I said before, I kept quitting before things got really good. So this is the first time where I'm not stopping. Even if I make a mistake, which clearly I did already, I'm going to keep going. You know, I'm one of those people where I am a jack of all trades, but I would like to start mastering some of these trades, you know? I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a whole bunch of talents. I mean, if you've been blessed with it, you've been blessed with it, right? But I'm finally at a point where I would like to master some of these talents, you know, so I can help teach and I can just feel a little bit more confident about my skills and everything. Because I'm one of those people who was like, okay, I feel like I can do this. And then I'll learn, I'll like hyper fixate on it. And then I'll learn it and then I can do it. And then I'll be like, okay, what's next? But no, this time I need to master. So I would love to, now I'm at the point in my life where I want to master my art skills. And this is for traditional and digital. One of these days I would love to go back and show y'all like how I started with with digital art. And even further, if I can find some of my old pieces from like high school and stuff from my traditional art, I would love to show you guys that too, just so you can see how I've grown and how I've been trying to learn from my mistakes. And even now, like, I got so much more to do, so much more left. You know, I'm just now starting to use other Procreate brushes besides the same ones I've been using since I started. And I've been looking up like other tutorials for like coloring, and you know, I've been trying to take it to the next level. I like being good at something, but now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I want to be amazing. I want to be one of the best. So yeah, I am a little bit competitive. But like I'm still a good sport for the most part. And I don't think that I'm better than anybody, like for nothing. I like to be the best I can fully, you know, I like to get out there and be like, okay, I know I did the best I could do. Because a lot of times I be half-assing a lot of things that I do. And I'm tired of it. So tired. Especially when you know you can do so much more. So many projects that I have in my repertoire that I would love to complete, but like I'm just trying to slow down and do one thing at a time. Because I'm one of those people who I put way too much pressure on myself. Like I need to have this, I need to do that, da 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 da. Like I even contemplated not even dabbling into the gaming world anymore. But I'm just like, certain things I can't live without. Like I can't not dance. I can't not sing. I can't not write. I can't not do art. I am an all-around, multifaceted, creative person. And if I don't honor that, I don't know what I would be doing. Even in my healing journey, like I always have to have a little creative spin, a little creative twist. Like that's always just been the case. So finally, I'm deciding to just honor that, you know? If that's the life that I'm supposed to be living, then why not? Why not? It's also so like inspiring to see other people who just are completely in their elements, even when their elements could be something totally random that nobody would suspect, oh, you make a living doing that? And then also something I notice is like when I have interest in things, the universe will like hype it up. I started being interested in making coloring books and digital products a while back, and now literally that's all you see. And I'm not saying I was the first one to invent it. No, I was inspired. But still, regardless, it's just the fact that it's more common now. You know, it's like I used to take it as, oh my gosh, I missed my turn. Damn. But now I'm just like, or maybe I should start looking at it as it was a sign. Like, yeah, you should have did it. We want you to do that. Continue to try. So that's also why I didn't want to throw this coloring book I don't want to say in the garbage. I didn't want to do this coloring book dirty because I'm just like, I did put a lot of effort into it. Like, this is my baby. And while, once again, it may not be perfect, it's mine, And I think also the simple fact that even throughout all the imperfections, I've still been able to create some beautiful pieces. And it's digital. That's the other thing. I was like, if this was a physical coloring book, I'd have been like, okay, I'm not selling this. But because it's digital, you have so much more freedom to work with the mistakes. So I decided to just do it. But I just made it really cheap. Because another thing is, you can't be trying to like sell yourself short. And you do need to learn, like as an artist, you do need to learn how to price your art. And while I would love to just charge for time and effort and research, I think skill is something that needs to be factored in. Quality, So this is a digital coloring book, It shouldn't be an arm and a leg at all, right? And because of like the details and it's pretty much the line art. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take it off the market, but however, I am going to. So I guess that's another thing is, I would like to eventually get more comfortable with the idea of teaching some of the skills that I've learned. So one of the first things I'll definitely be doing is teaching people how to create coloring books from scratch without using pre-made images, and discussing the importance of line art in creating a coloring book from scratch with your own unique designs. Because that's something that I struggled with at first. Like, everything I had looked amazing as sketches. Then I'm trying to do the line art. I'm like, Another thing that I'm excited to do is organize my process on how I do art. Because I just start wherever I want to start. And I realized, like, it shouldn't take me so long to do certain art pieces at all. So just in the future, I'm excited to figure that out a bit more. Now, I wanted her to have a little bit of an open lip. Her face is sideways, so I just don't even know how to go about it. But at the same time, it does not have to be perfect. But I'd like it to be decent. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Add a little bit more openness, a little bit better. I'm just going to do what I do best and blend until it's a little bit more seamless. And that's another thing, is like working with pixels is something, because you're not thinking about smooth lines. You're just thinking about the gradient. Like, do you see how it's dark right here, but then it's lighter? So you're working in gradients. You're not working in just regular lines. You're working in pixels. I remember back in the day doing those little pixel little art pieces. Those are fun. This is like that, except digital. And I don't know how to change that though. I don't know if there's a way to even change it, if I'm being honest, or if I should, because I've gotten used to working in pixels. I don't know, but maybe that's how it's supposed to be, I guess. I don't know. But for people who have a hard time blending, just zoom in and go by pixel by pixel, so you can see it's forming this little gradient. So like this spot is more blended in than this spot. And you could tell when you zoom out. But yeah, having organized steps in your art process it just makes everything so much more smoother. And because I never used to work like that, I would spend forever on art pieces that don't need to be forever on. And now that I'm trying to really make it a lucrative business, I need to be able to have time to edit, stream so I can attract people live. I need the time to work on other projects. Like, now I have to face the challenge of promoting another project while also completing another one before the summer is over. Before the summer gets here. And we're already in spring. So the coloring book that I'm coloring in now, it took me roughly about 3 months, maybe 2 or 3 months, which I feel like it's not bad, But now that I want to do more high quality work, I don't want it to take longer than those 3. Like, I don't want it to take longer because I want this to be a summer collection. Well, not a collection, it's just one thing. But because I want this to be a summer thing. And I think the other part of me wanting it sooner rather than later is because of wanting to redo this coloring book itself that I'm using now. So it will have pieces that are more relevant to the collection, but it'll also have pieces that that are redone versions of this with my new skills. So it's just like a sorry, I just want to redo this so I can move on to my next phase, because everything has a purpose. Like the Daily Rituals collection has a purpose that's tied into the collection that's coming out after that. I do want to outline the hair like I did the eyebrows and the lashes, so it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, I have a question out there for other artists. Do you ever feel like sometimes you want to go back to school for art or recomplete things that you might have not done well while you might have already been studying art? Like, do you ever feel like you want to just go to art school, like a full-on art school, whatever, and just continue your education and like get help and stuff like that? Lately, I've been feeling like that's what I want to do. I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing that. And so, I mean, I am in the midst of figuring that out and just trying to be patient to see, like, if that's what Father the Most High wants me to do, or if it's me just regretting the things I didn't do when I went to college the first time. That'll be another story for another time. But I did graduate, so it's not like I didn't get a degree, but I'm not using that degree. And I switched my major. It's my junior year, so I don't like wasting things or my talents or experiences, and I just feel like I wasted that because I didn't believe in myself enough, and I was going through so much BS at school and at home. But at this time, I wasn't aware of, like, spiritually what was going on around me. And once again, not blaming all of my failures and nothing on, like, people attacking me spiritually, but I'll be damned if I want to sit here and act like that did have a big part to do with it. Like, do you guys ever notice how when you're left alone, how motivated you are, how ready you are to take on the world, how courageous and bold and how beautiful, like, your process is, and you don't feel like you're rushing, you don't feel like you're doing too much, you just feel like you're your natural, effortless self. And then the minute that you're really ready to take off, something happens. Like, y'all don't find that strange? And that right there, it's not your fault. 9 times out of 10, a lesson is coming up that you need to learn. People are, manipulating and projecting things. A cycle is trying to complete itself, but in order for it to fully complete, you have to pass the test, pretty much. And a lot of us, we don't pass the test because we don't even know what's going on. Like, we just think that we failed or we fucked up. We just think, oh, you know what? That's just how life goes. Nothing good ever happens for me. Like, we be in that kind of mindset instead of figuring out, okay, what is it that I need to clear up? What is it from this cycle that I need to learn? And so this time around, I had to just constantly keep practicing and reminding myself, okay, if something, like when something that I really rather not happen is trying to happen, I need to focus on what am I doing right? What did I do wrong? What can I learn from it? And what are the external factors that are also adding on to this situation? Like, even if you don't have nobody in your life, it doesn't mean there aren't people who are still praying for your downfall. And you need to be aware of that. Because for the longest time, I swore, like, oh, ain't nobody paying me no mind. Ain't nobody thinking about me. Da-da-da-da-da. Couldn't be the more biggest lie of my life that I have ever told myself or anybody else has told you. And that's another thing. I saw a lot of videos of people saying, ain't nobody looking at you, ain't nobody watching you, it's all in your head, da-da-da-da-da. They're liars. If you have an anointing over you, you have a calling, they're not talking to you. If you know dang well you've been chosen to do something, you've got people watching. And to think that they're not is a mistake. Because then you'll let your guard down more than you should. Like, you shouldn't be looking behind your shoulder like, paranoid or nothing. But you should know that you always need to stay super close to Father the Most High so he can help you with these situations, because if he has you going through all these challenges and stuff like that, it's for a bigger purpose, and you need him. You're gonna need him. You're going to need him. And once you get past a certain stage, it's just gonna be more bullshit that you're gonna have to go through, unfortunately. But the difference is you'll be more prepared. Like, you'll be able to see somebody for who they truly are and the situation for what it is. Like, you'll know what contracts to sign or what to walk away from. Like, you'll know. You won't have to second guess yourself or feel like you're making mistakes. But all that is to say, like, you just got to be aware of your situation in the first place. Who's around you? What are their true intentions? Don't be so naive to think nobody's paying attention to you, because they are. So for the people out there who do be making those videos, ain't nobody watching you, da 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 da. Only thing that really tells me is that you're probably one of those people who are watching and you want people to let their guard down. That's the only thing I'm like, that sound like a setup. Like, it sounds like you want me to fall for this trap so you can gain access to me more easier because I'm not paying attention, which is exactly what happened before. And it's so easy for other people to be able to manipulate your feelings. Like, some of you probably don't even post videos and people are still manipulating you so you can't even get to that point of posting your videos. That's what happened to me. And then I was paranoid. I'm like, dang, well, I don't even want to do this no more. But I'm like, it's also not my call either. You know, with how played out content creation has gotten because of, you know, everybody wanting to pursue it, it makes you think, okay, well, I don't even want to do it no more. If you're like me, you're just thinking, I'm not trying to be like everybody else, da 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 da. I'm like, at the same time, this is what I was called to do. Then why would I let imposters scare me off from that, you know? It's just always so good to be aware of what's actually going on around you. And not to be not to be blind to think that nobody cares about what's going on with you or anything like that, because they do. They just won't tell you, because then you'll be wise enough to know how to cut them off. And then what you know, if you're watching this and you're really connected and you literally are still listening, you're probably already supposed to be on social media. So having to balance privacy on social media is already another challenge in itself, because you don't have to, because like, you can't control who's watching you, but you should still kind of feel as though, who cares? Finding the ultimate balance of being online, I guess it's just gonna take time, for real. Let's just outline the hair, sharpening up the edges a little bit. I will say this video definitely is giving like it should have been a live stream, just because of how unorganized and just all the loose chatting. And that's another thing, I didn't know how I wanted to go about it, because it seems like the only people who get like credit when it comes to like art are people who have like a cozy art vibe. Well, not that they're the only people that get credit, but like they're what's popular right now. And as much as I love adding some beats to my audio, I also want to talk. And my voice is not cozy. My voice is chaotic, squeaky, and I don't talk about cozy stuff. So I feel like I just can't, as much as I want to be a part of that, I can't, because it's just not, it's not 100% me. I can balance it out. Like, I can still try, you know, because I do like the idea of like someone watching a coloring video to go to bed or to study to or something. Like, I still love that idea, and that's the reason why I really want to do it. Like, and it's just more content for me as an artist. So like, trends are good, but they're also, you don't want to get stuck in only doing stuff that's trendy, because then you don't want to lose yourself in the process. So like, my first video was semi-cozy, because like, it was not cozy music, but it was a vibe. It was like a little small vibe. So to have videos where I'm talking, to have videos where there's this ASMR, have videos where it's like just some music playing in the background. I would like to achieve a balance. I don't want to attract people who they only like cozy people, right? Because they're gonna hear me yell and scream and cuss a little bit. So that's the other thing. I just want to make sure I don't stick myself into a bubble that I could never maintain. These vibes, that's what I like. This is what I like. And that's what I want to incorporate. So also, another thing I would like to do is like, I would like to do reactions. I want to tailor it to comics, animations, and things of that nature. For a long time, I was like, how are people doing this? Like, I just didn't understand the copywriting process for it to make sure that I don't get sued. But then I was like, you know what, let me just at least do the research. And I found out like how people go about it and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this is another avenue I can't wait to explore, right? But first, can you make the art videos? Man, Isley Brothers was at IFRAM 2 years ago, and I heard this song live. Oh my goodness. I just fell in love. Like, I love live music. I like being in the audience and having the frequencies of their voice just smack me in my face. Like, it was so good. Oh my goodness. And then Ty Dolla $ign was also there. He is such, like, he has amazing vocals. Toni Braxton was there. Oh my goodness, it was a time. They let the bugs out on us though, so that was crazy. But other than that, it was a time. I think I really just enjoy live music. I enjoy music in general, but like, I didn't realize how much I like live music. And I don't go to concerts, which is crazy to me. Like, why am I not? Like, NAO has a concert coming up in my location, and I can't go, but I'm just like, I need to start being obedient so I can go have fun. Because I'm trying to go and see my favorite artists live. I'm trying to sing with the people. The Sims have a board game. Is it Rags to Riches? Can I customize my character? I might get it just to see what it's like. Maybe that'll be a thing we do on a live stream or something to see how you play. I'm just curious on how this works. It's crazy because I was going to give up on this page. I was like, start over. That would have been so annoying. And then something new just came up and I have an idea. Oh no. I'm doing this and I realize I still have to define the words. Oh my goodness. It's definitely looking better though. Like it wasn't an accident. Oh. Now I kind of like this. Like it looks like a drawn character. Lord knows I just finished with this cup. Alright, I'm gonna do 2 layers. I guess what I'm doing is like highlighting the cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the cup, right? And the cup is going to be what is illuminating the light onto her. Because I like this. It looks like how it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to lose that. But the cup is going to be luminous. And then I can add like a little layer of just making some light reflected off the cup and stuff. And then we'd be done with this page. So I do have to be gentle with the outline because the hand, but after that I can just erase everything else. Look how that works though. Like, you see how we started completely different, like nobody was thinking nothing about none of that, and now all of a sudden it's like it's meant to be. I'm just gonna have her full fingertips be light just so it can make sense, but I just don't want to lose all that fresh line. Like, that looks good. But like I'll allow the nails to be free and luminous. Okay, now everything else can be completely erased. So let's continue with outlining. And I'm not asking for perfection, but I am trying to get this done. And I don't want it to look a hot mess. But I definitely didn't expect this sort of outcome. That's why I really like doing digital art, because you start somewhere and end up completely different. Okay, now we just need to add some glowy stuff. Which now we have to worry about the neon again. Just add some lights. We've suffered enough. I want them to look like they're coming out the cup. Just radiating out the cup. final touches. And we are done. And we are, you know what? Let me, one more thing. One more slight thing. One more thing. I can make this a little bit more brighter. And I just want to double check. See, I want it to be a little bit more see-through though. Alright, we're done. Not another detail. We're finished. It was so nice meeting you guys. If you stayed through for the whole thing, cheers to you. Next time, I will be doing stuff from the beginning process, not the ass end process. I promise. But I just have to finish this piece once and for all so I can move on. Another one that I finished that you won't get a chance to see is, oops, please do not touch anything, is this piece right here. This is the first coloring page I colored. And now we have finally finished the second one, and I believe we made magic. I believe she looks like she's rooted in faith first, which is what I'm trying to be, you know. So, yeah. But I want to do a sketchbook, a digital sketchbook tour one of these days. But yeah. Peace.